Hi, I want to quickly explain this problem that I'm having with this plugin here, morph.plm. And the problem seems to be, you can look at this animation. Uh, you see this animation actually works really well. Let me blow it up and make it very simple. Okay. Okay, I have a banner that swoops in and there's a text there and it stops on the last frame. And you can see the morph plugin is working really well here. And it stops and it eases in, stops at the last frame here. And then, there's letters there, signage there. It's Asian, so I don't know what it really says. But you'll notice that it's working fine. And if I go to the project window, these are imported from Maya models that are connected to this Morph plugin. And then, but there's a node here, which is a crosshair null that is used to kind of stable the animation. It's generated from Maya. So I need this. It probably has some animation on it. And because if I take it off and just try to take these and link it directly to the project, it will not, the animation will no longer work. And I sort of suspect that it's this null that is keeping this from rendering here. So if I go here and just connect there, then you'll see this will start to wobble all over the place. It doesn't work correctly. It doesn't really, you see, it's just based on an animation. So it's not working correctly with that. So I can't do that to it. And you'll see here, now it'll float and work in the way I need it to work in my animation. So I need this null. This null is generated from Maya, and it also makes the process of importing all these model sequences in here. These are actually numbered model sequences up to 190. So EI doesn't have an import or a batch import. So the plugs that I use in Maya to generate actually, just redo it, actually generates these into Maya, and then I export as a 1FBX. Okay, so so that's part of the process that makes this really simple, and it's the best process. It's the best. I have only one fact file. Okay, and then I just connect it to the morph utility, and all I have to do is on one on each frame, so there's no big thing about that. Here's the problem. When I actually go to render it, I'll just render it anywhere. I'll render it, it will only render the first frame. So that to me is a bug because you can actually see that the animation works, but here when you go to render it, it doesn't work. It doesn't move and it's not doing anything. So that's an EI bug. That's a bug with a program, and I'm just doing this publicly instead of on a beta board because this is it's already published program. So I don't know who wrote the program, the plugin. Um, so so I don't know who to talk to about getting the bug fixed, but I would think that this is a bug. And so as you can see, this has not moved at all. And if I go to the animation, the whole frame will be the same shot. It never renders. Even if I do try to do a snapshot, it doesn't, like in this position, it'll render from that one first frame. So, and that's what just happened right there. It just renders from this one first frame. This is not like that. All right, and just in case it's not where you can really see it, let me just do another one to show. If I put it like right here, you can see that this is very different from that one. Go to the last frame. If I try to do a snapshot, it still won't render correctly. So it's still the same frame. So that's the problem. It renders the same frame for the whole length of the animation, which is incorrect, and I consider it a bug. Now, I do think it probably has something to do with this null, but this null seems to be important, and if it's important to the render, but it's not important to the plug to actually perform the animation. So there's an inconsistency there. So that would mean there's a bug. You know, if it's inconsistent, if it didn't work at all and you couldn't use this, then it wouldn't work here. So the fact that it's working here and it's not working there mean that it is very inconsistent. Okay. Now, also the problem is like, you know, normally you would have cycling. Let me see if that would work. If there's anything I could do to do that, let me see if that'll work. I may have just fixed this. Hold on, because I didn't realize this plug will allow for cycling. 1, 2, 1, 180, 190. Okay, let me try this. Let's see if this will do it. If that'll do it, then my problem is solved. But that still means that the program, the bug still exists, and just right over there. See if this do it. If this moves, then I got it. I don't think so. No. So basically, also, so what I was going to get to is that the cycling, there's no, because this is a null, there's no cycling tab on there. And so on these all have cycling. But again, if I move this null, then the animation will start, you know, flipping around like I showed you at the beginning of this video. So here's an instance. Now, of course, I already have this in Maya because it was generated from Maya. And here's how I generate all the things. And I use a plug, and I can show you what the plug is. It's from TK Toolkits. And because I did buy this, I didn't put it out there. You know, it's not freeware. Whereas there are other plugs that you can get from Thomas has it. It's called Object Export, and so that'll export to a file. And then Maya doesn't have Electric Image doesn't have a model import, sequence import, so that's just as problematic as well, because then you have to import each and every one of these, which I've managed to do with this plug by generating the models within the program. So so anyway, that's the deal with this. Maybe I can reverse this and get to where I can show you how. Okay, it's undoing each one of these model files. It's undoing the model files that I generated here. So these will disappear after it goes back. It actually undoes every single one. Okay, so there you have it here. And so unfortunately, I am going to have to render this in Maya. And you know, as my constituency uses Electric Image, you know, I try to bring most of my stuff back into Electric Image. So it's always, to me, it's always a good thing to be able to do this. But here we have it again, that you know, it kind of falls short right at the finish line. And that's not good. That's not how I play. So I gotta get this done. I gotta get this completed, and I gotta get it to my client. And you know, that's not optional. So I have to get this. I have to render this in Maya until they figure out how to get this program done. Okay, so there's the problem, and you know, hopefully, you know, Electric Image can look by this get by this somehow and get this done correctly.